I'm on stuff.
All right, let's call the meeting to order for the Angola Common Council, Monday, November 4th. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Coffey. Present. Councilmember Olson. Here. Councilmember Sharkey.
Present.
Councilmember Rowe. Here. Councilmember McDermott. Here.
Do we have some Trine students in the audience this evening? If you don't mind, would you introduce yourselves and let us know where you are from, please?
I'm Brendan Lima. I'm from Rockledge, Florida.
Oh, my goodness.
Ryan Ganger from Kendallville.
Kendallville, okay.
Christian Ramos from California.
All right.
Maxwell Summerfield from West Branch, Michigan.
I'm Emma Byron. I'm from Rochester, Michigan.
Rochester, Michigan. Okay. Well, you guys aren't too far apart. These aren't that far apart. Welcome, and we're glad to have you here. Are you all engineering students? Is that what you're all here? And you're required to be here by your beautiful professor. Well, thank you for coming, and we appreciate you being here. We do appreciate you picking Trine University to get your education. It's one of the best students or best universities in the country. So thank you for being here. We want to congratulate our Angola sports team. We have a cross-country team that's headed to state. Volleyball is moving on. They're doing fantastic. And our band is once again qualified for state finals. I think it's this Saturday, I believe, is when the band is.
I think there's just a few runners from the cross country team. I don't think it's the whole team, but is it the whole team?
It's over.
Oh, it's over.
Competed Saturday. They competed Saturday.
Oh, they competed Saturday.
But you wouldn't know that because we had.
Because I didn't.
But no, we had 2 weeks. There was a week with him. Volleyball is.
Yeah. At Ball State. Tammy's daughter is involved with that program, isn't she? Yes. So we have a little connection here to City Hall. Request approval for the October 21st minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Second, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, unfinished business. We have a public hearing regarding the proposed appropriation reduction to the Community Capital Development Fund, ordinance number 1767, 2024. It's an appropriate reduction ordinance for the capital fund, and this is a public hearing. We will open the public hearing for comment. If you'd like to make comment, please make your way to the podium. Boy, it's just a mad rush going up there, a long line. Nobody wants to make public comment. We will close the public hearing. And we will move on with the third reading of ordinance 1767, 2024, the appropriate or reduction in ordinance for the Community Capital Development Fund, third reading.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? An ordinance amending the City of Angola, Indiana Employee Handbook, employee policies, equipment, tools, vehicles, and machines. Third reading.
Move to approve the ordinance.
I'll second it.
Motion second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Other unfinished business. Anybody have anything that's unfinished this evening? Hearing none, we'll move on to new business. Request for financial support for the Community Humane Shelter of Steuben County. We had a conversation back in July 1, 2024. Tracy, would you like to address us this evening?
Yes, thanks for having me back. Just a couple quick updates about the shelter. We have a new shelter administrator, Colleen Kazmierczak, is on board and getting and fitting in well. We also, just to let you know, the shelter is full. Mayor Martin, I think you were there not too long ago to see every kitten kennel is full. We've had times where we've had kennels in the hallways again, just because we have we take in a lot more animals than we're able to adopt out in Steuben County. We have a partnership with the ASPCA where we can get some animals out sometimes to shelters where I can never believe it, but they need cats to adopt out. But lot of shelters are experiencing what we're experiencing, so it's harder and harder to get those transports. But PetSmart has reached out to us again to open up their store for adoption events. And those adoption events tend to be pretty successful, but we need a way to get the animals down there for those adoption events. And so I was here not too long ago requesting some funds for a new to us van. And we were working with the county, and we have a $10,000 grant to get those funds. The county has just awarded us $20,000 towards that, a purchase of a new van for us. So now I'm requesting funds for us to put also towards that van. And then we've been in touch with Chief Whitmire's put us in touch with the same dealership that the city uses for their police cars, so that we can investigate getting a vehicle that will work for us. So that's.
Well, Ryan and I had a conversation about this the other day, looking at what is left in the budget for 2024. The council budget does have some excess money in a vehicle line item that we could transfer. We'd have to do a transfer. We could do that, and I'm going to recommend the council authorize $10,000 to be transferred to help the shelter buy a new vehicle. Final amount is up to you, but that's my recommendation.
Tracy, have you contacted the dealership that Chief Whitmire's provided for you to see what they have available?
I have not personally contacted them, but our new president, I believe she's made an initial contact and kind of explained what we were looking for. I'm not sure if there's anything available at this exact moment, but.
Thank you.
Tracy, I wasn't sure. Are you saying you had 10,000 that was raised to 20 or 10,000 plus 20?
We have a $10,000 grant that we received, and we received
So
20,000.
you have 30,000.
So we have 30,000 now.
So if we gave you 10,000, you'd be well on your way.
We would be, yes, it would,
Have you,
again, new to us, where we would probably be taking most of the seats out most of the time so we can fit in our kennels for transporting.
have any of the other communities contributed, or have you asked them to, Fremont or Orland?
So that is something we'd like to put Colleen on when she
Okay.
gets more into her role, but as a volunteer board, we have not reached out to.
So there's no request with them, so that's still possible for you?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
She was still suffering a little bit of shell shock when I talked to her. She is finding out exactly how much there is to do that needs to be done.
And we've had a lot of, like I've said, a lot of animals. So it's a lot of getting used to having to get the order of getting the cages cleaned out. And
They'll have to do.
there is.
So is if we give you 10,000, that gives you 40, is that enough? I guess, Ken, I haven't bought a van in years, that'd be enough?
We usually don't purchase vans, so when I contacted Highland Dodge, they were talking, I forget what the name of the van it was, but it's not an actual minivan, it's actually a transit van. And I thought they told me they had one in stock, and it was either 42 or 44,000.
So it's pretty close.
Yeah, so it was, and that's a brand new.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't have anything used other than one minivan that had 90,000 miles on it, and that's just
That's not gonna do
pointless.
it, yeah.
If they could get another community to throw five or two of them to give them 2,500 each, they could cover that, it would seem.
And we certainly would reach out for those.
I think we have to do what's right here, so I move we give the Humane Shelter of Swain County $10,000 for the purchase of an appropriate van.
I'll second.
Motion is second, discussion. Ryan, this will have to come back in 2 weeks for the resolution for transfer, is that right?
Yeah, we'll have to do a budget transfer.
And then we could write a check. So basically 15 days, we could have funds available for him, is that?
Yeah, I mentioned to Kim preparing an agreement, basically a kind of a grant agreement
Okay.
to go along with it, to be signed by the shelter, but
And
after.
got the contact information.
Yep.
Does that fit your timeline? Will that work for you?
We're just thankful. So thank you.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Can we suggest that as a condition here that they at least contact Fremont and Orland, and even Ashley and Hudson, to see if they can contribute so they can get it, rather than buy something with 20,000 miles on it for 38,000, something new, that work. If we could make that a condition, I would ask that we amend the motion in that regard. Not that they have to get it, but that at least they make contact.
I don't know if we can really say, here's the money, you have to do it this way. I mean, might have other plans, but I don't think that needs to be as cut and dried as that.
How about something like this? Can we have your assurance your organization's going to talk?
Give you my.
Girl Scout right there.
I was trying to make that so that
Yes.
they wouldn't get the money. I was trying to encourage them to contribute also, because I think you're a worthwhile, very worthwhile organization. Orson, you help Angola a lot, and I want you to get the best you can get.
Yes.
Rather than get a used one, if they can help, you can get a new one that'll last you much longer.
You withdraw that.
I'll withdraw it, sure.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right.
Thank you.
We'll be back with you in a couple of weeks, and Kim will have the agreement around, and we'll get that signed. and
Yep, I will.
get it moving forward. Request action on the bids for the wastewater 2024 service crane truck tabled for further review. Mr. Ritter, you're there, and there you are.
I am here.
You could have spoke at the public meeting, public hearing, but you didn't. What do you got for us?
We went over all three quotes and everybody did everything in the specs that we wanted. W.A. Jones did have the lowest one, with 174,500. 174,500. So
Which was below what we had
the
estimated.
lowest of the three bids.
So you're asking for us to award
Yes.
lowest responsible?
Yep.
Okay, we'll entertain a motion then.
I move that we do give the bid to the lowest responsible dealer, vendor.
Second.
Your motion second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Just that quick, thank you. Request approval of the 2025 agreement for services with the Steuben County Economic Development Corporation in the amount of $62,500.
You approve this?
Second.
Motion is second, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Request approval of the City of Angola facade grant agreement with Sean Elstein for property located at 5 South Public Square in the amount not to exceed $5,000. Retha, would you like to fill the council in on what we're doing here?
Yes, so Sean is working on his building over here, which is where Edward Jones was, 85 South. He has submitted plans to the state. He's got quite a bit of renovations that he has planned. He went to the Historic Preservation Commission and they approved multiple items on his list, but the only thing that he was really going to target this year was the tuck pointing on some of that brick that really needs it. So that was why he applied for the facade grant of that. We will see some more things from him probably next year. He's got some gutters, a new roof, and new windows, and lots of things planned. But this was approved at the HPC, so submitted to you guys for your approval for the facade grant.
Is there a tenant in there now, Rita?
There is not. He, again, has just some plans that he wants to do with the second and third floor, has been vacant and just
Yeah.
kind of a mess for years. And so
Is that the
he's
one with the
got-
broken windows? Is that the same building or not?
No, that's right next door.
Okay.
Yeah, so he is working on some renovations on the second and third floor now, has some plans for the first floor, but just is kind of starting on certain things. He's getting some utility upgrades and he's got a lot of plans, so.
They've all been approved by
The only thing that we're waiting on was some specifications for the windows and some other things. So since he was not applying for the facade grants on that, tonight is just tuck pointing.
We don't want it falling down, so.
And from a public safety standpoint,
Yeah.
as well as to help them out. I move that we approve the facade grant.
I'll second it.
Motion second, discussion. The building next door is, we've been working with the owner. We would love to see that one also.
Yeah, I was hoping that was part of this.
It is not. We would like to make headway on that. We've not been able to do so. All right, motion second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Request approval of the Uniform Conflict of Interest Disclosure Statement for Amanda Cope.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
Suppose.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, reports. Ryan, do you have anything for the council this evening?
Nothing for me, Mayor.
Tim, do you have anything for the council this evening?
No, Mayor.
All right, mess up on the name again. Reese, you got anything up for the council this evening?
No, other than I do have 2 positions open in my department right now. The community coordinator position and a planner position. So both have been posted.
As we budgeted for next year, Steve will be moving to the engineering department, which will vacate the planner's position. Mr. Steve is not going anywhere. He will be staying with the city. He'll just take over project coordination under Amanda. Anything else?
That's it.
Mr. Ritter?
Nothing, sir.
Mr. Selman?
Couple of quick notes. Today we took a second round of PFAS sampling, which is IDEM EPA. First round we took 6 months ago and we're absent of PFAS in our point of entry. So hopefully the samples we pulled today will also come back as well. On a bigger note maybe is we did our mailings on our lead and copper. We had to have our survey in by October 16th, which we did. Nick in engineering has done a great job on getting all the information in their web and portholes. And we identified 26 lead services in town and 101 galvanized services in town. We have sent letters today to the owners of those residents. So if any questions would come to the council members, I'd prefer you direct them to my phone. There's some verbiage in the letters that we had to send that was drafted by others, and we would have liked to have taken some of the verbiage out of it, but it is what it is. So if you'd send everybody to me, we'll handle them one at a time, case by case. So FYI.
PFAS is becoming and that is an acronym, is becoming more and more scrutinized in water systems. Most communities that get deep aquifer water don't have a problem with it. We don't have a problem with it that we've been able to detect. Some communities that use surface water are starting to detect PFAS in their drinking water supply. It's something that the EPA and IDEM is kind of going after. So that's the acronym.
What's PFAS? Is it chemical?
It's a chemical that was basically used or invented. It's man-made. It was invented, and Tom, correct me, you know much more about this than I do, to make Teflon stick. If you want a Teflon can, how do you get the Teflon to stick to the can? And it leaches into the system. It's in your system. You have some, and it's probably detectable at our wastewater treatment plant. It gets picked up in the environment. Our fresh water coming in does not.
I thought you said PFAS.
PFAS.
What are the letters found?
PFAS. It's a whole family of man-made forever chemicals that we had a great idea. Firefighting foam, Teflon, carpet, McDonald's wrappers, everything. It's in everything.
4 parts per billion, is that?
4 parts per trillion.
Trillion, I'm sorry, 4 parts per trillion. Some cities out there, some municipal water systems in Indiana are coming back at 7 and 8. So there is some issues out there. Fortunately, we do not have it.
Did you get that?
What's the name of the movie that's on Netflix that you can watch? It's something about Blackwater or Black.
Yeah, I can't think of it either.
Netflix has a they did a made for television movie about it, that how they originally discovered the issue that was out there. But it is something that we're watching.
Scandalizing. Nothing.
No. Sue, you got anything for us? Amanda, you got anything for us?
Just to follow up on Tom and the lead and copper. So as part of all of this, we have to come up with a replacement program, which means city funds going towards those 127 services that Tom talked about. So that's something that you guys will see in probably the coming year of how many of these are we going to do annually? Where is that money going to come from? They say there's federal money, but you guys all know how that works. So something to keep in mind.
So it just goes from the piping from the main to their house, or?
Yeah, we have to get new line through the house, like
Into the house.
into the house, through the basement wall or the wherever. And then
From the,
within the house is the homeowners.
from the main, so it's gonna cost a lot of digging.
Yes, in old basements. Most of our lines are in old neighborhoods in the downtown here, so it'll be pretty costly.
Can't bore any of that either, I assume.
Case by case, but probably not.
And just so they've been notified and that they're gonna come to us, they've been notified that they have to come to us and we'll help them out as such.
They've been notified that they have either a lead line or a line that could contain lead, and that in the coming time, we were pretty vague on that. There will be a replacement plan, and there is, the language that Tom's referring to is there's funding available and contact your city. That's what.
So we could realistically get 127, is that the number?
Yes,
People tomorrow
calling,
wanting to replace.
yes.
Wanting to know what funding we have
Oh,
available.
The percentage of our customers is actually very small. There's a lot of communities out there that have a lot worse problem.
Right, yeah, but
We've
we
got
have.
a little under 3,000 customers. So it's a very small percentage.
Yes, we're very fortunate in this situation, but you will get calls. I'm sure that residents will reach out to council members and say, hey, I got this. What are you gonna do?
What do you like?
Could we get a copy of that letter just to have a reference point of what they're talking about? We'll still direct them to you, Tom.
You can handle it if you want.
No, that sounds like right up your
Home
alley.
address, Tom?
It's an engineering job.
I grew up in a house that had lead pipes service, lived underneath an asbestos roof, and my mom cooked on Teflon pans all the time. And I'm still here.
That's what happens.
Yeah, that's why I decided to be the mayor.
Now we see
Anything
how
else?
we know.
Ken, you got any for us this evening, Chief? Okay. How about if we request approval of the allowance of accounts payable voucher, 71,247 through 71,426, totaling $819,596.06.
We pay the bills.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Any other new business this evening?
I'm intrigued on what you guys are gonna say about us.
You don't want
You don't want to know.
Assignment, none of these guys are complete doofuses, or we could do better, or?
We just talk about the meeting, the content, but we can talk about you.
I haven't talked about before, but it's just about the meeting and in reference to engineering problems,
The
or?
process of how things get approved in communities such as this.
Good old red tape.
Sometimes we just flip a coin.
Okay, but I'm just saying.
Hey, Mayor, one more thing. We will see new hometown hero banners going up later this week, by the way. I should have mentioned that. Mackenzie worked on that before she left, got the banners ready, and Chad has them. So they will be honoring those hometown heroes with a veterans breakfast at the American Legion on the 9th.
Saturday
The 9th.
What time? What time's?
8:30.
8:30 in the morning.
But those new banners, the old ones are coming down, the new ones will be up.
And so the old people, the people who had their banners up, they will receive their banners.
They will receive their
And
banners.
the new people are at breakfast also.
Yes.
Okay, so they received two banners, we had doubles made. Yeah, so
So it's nice.
when they hand them
So
out
it's
to the
nice.
family, they get a pristine one, they'll actually get the old one. Nothing else? The next meeting of the common council will be Monday, November 18th. With that, order of the good, we are adjourned. Tomorrow morning, yes. What time is my meeting tomorrow morning?
I'm sorry, I didn't say.
Yeah.